The King of the Ring and Queen's Crown tournaments kicked off on Smackdown Friday night. And on the women's side, they've already screwed it all up. On the men's side, Sami Zayn beat Rey Mysterio to advance to the next round, and Finn Balor pinned Cesaro, so Balor will meet Zayn in the semifinals. Both of them were good matches. I thought Balor and Cesaro, not surprisingly, had the match of the night. Dominic inadvertently cost his father the match, so the tease of a breakup between father and son continues, and now both of them have been drafted to Monday Night Raw. Dominic this week did an interview and said that the goal long-term is for him to take over the mask and the Rey Mysterio name, and for him to eventually be called Rey Mysterio Jr., as his father was when he was wrestling for WCW. Vince McMahon hates juniors, so when he came over to WWE in 2002, he went from Rey Mysterio Jr. to just Rey Mysterio. But now Dominic is talking about one day becoming the new Rey Mysterio Jr. But he says he has to earn it first. He hasn't earned it yet. You know, there's a story there that they can definitely tell. But great storytelling is not always their specialty. So who knows if it'll be told or not. Balor and Cesaro, like I said, if you're looking for what I thought was the best part of SmackDown on Friday, they had a good match. Nothing outstanding or anything like that. I don't think it's much of a mystery who's going over in the second round, considering the finals are being held in Saudi Arabia. And Sami has said before that he has basically been banned from those shows due to, I don't even know if he's 100% sure. You know, I've heard him talk about this, and it's not what I can gather is that he has not gone to WWE and said, I will not go over there. He has not been invited over there. I guess due to his Syrian heritage, it could cause problems. And I can understand him going into the country and wanting to make sure he's safe and he can get out of the country. So he's not flying over there, is the point. So he's not going to the finals. Now, the other side of the bracket has Kofi Kingston against Jinder Mahal. And yes, Xavier Woods is in the King of the Ring. And he faces Ricochet this week in the first round. There will be no King Ricochet. He can call himself King Ricochet, but there will be no King Ricochet. I say Woods is going to go all the way to the semis, but loses to Jinder Mahal. And we end up with a Finn Balor-Jinder Mahal final with Balor becoming the king. That is my prediction. Woods against Kofi Kingston would be the more compelling match. It's the match that I would do. Because of their friendship, Kofi knowing how much the crown would mean to his boy, Woods, who has not shut up for years about wanting to be in the King of the Ring and wanting to be King of the Ring, but also being a competitor, right? And wanting to win it himself. That's the story I'm visualizing here. If they did a match between Kofi and Woods in the semifinals, that's kind of the setup right there. And let's say, you know, if being king actually meant anything, they would announce that whoever wins the crown would then be in line for a shot at their respective brand's championship. If they did that, all the more reason for Kofi to say, look, you and I are going to scrap, but I'm not laying down for you. I want that crown, and then I want that universal title. And they go out there and they have just a banger of a match with Xavier Woods winning and going over on Kofi Kingston and going to the finals. And then you get Finn Balor and Xavier Woods in the finals, and I would still have Balor win. I would not have Woods win the King of the Ring. I would have Balor go over in the finals because Balor is the right choice. But what I fear is that we're not even going to get Woods and Kofi. We're going to end up getting Jinder all the way to the finals. Now, on the women's side, I don't know what they were thinking when they put this together. But there is only one name who should win this thing, and that is Shayna Baszler. The Queen of Spades should be the queen when this tournament is over. She wrestles Dana Brooke this week on TV, and the winner of that match will meet the winner of the Doudrop against Natalya match. They already teased the match between Baszler and Doudrop on Monday, so I think the two of them advance to the semifinals with Baszler winning and going on to the finals. On the other side of the bracket, we got two matches on Friday, neither of which lasted longer than 2 minutes. Toni Storm lost to Zelena Vega. Well, congrats to Zelena. She actually won one. She hasn't won shit since coming back to this company. And they decided that this would be a great time to put Zelena Vega over. And we'll have her beat Toni Storm. Bounced out of the first round in a short nothing match. While Liv Morgan, who the fans really seem to like, and they recently have really seemed to be getting behind Liv Morgan lost to Carmella. So instead of setting up the obvious rematch between Liv Morgan and Zelena Vega in the semis after Vega pinned Liv on TV before Extreme Rules, and I remember thinking to myself, why would you have Zelena Vega in one of her only wins beat Liv Morgan on TV 48 hours before her pay-per-view match, which ended up being on the kickoff, against Carmella, unless they're going to bring it back on TV the next week and then Liv's going to get her win back or something. Then I saw the brackets and I said, okay, I'm still no fan of beating Toni Storm in a fucking 90-second opening round match, but at least if Vega won, Liv is going to beat Carmella, and then it makes sense, because now you've set up a rematch, heel against babyface. Liv is trying to get her win back over Zelena, who beat her a few weeks ago. That actually makes sense. That's what I imagined that they were setting up by having Toni Storm lose in that opening round. Instead, they have set up a heel versus heel match in the semifinals that nobody cares about. And they have eliminated two babyfaces that they had the potential to elevate by having them survive late into the tournament. These people have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing. They are truly clueless. I don't agree with having Toni Storm lose in the first round, but at least it would have been sensible to have Liv move on, avenge her loss, and then try valiantly in the finals, right? Get people's hopes up and have her go all the way to the finals because she is so well liked, but then fall short to Shayna Baszler, because I would still have Baszler, the heel, go over in the tournament. That's how I would have done it. But here's the problem here, besides the booking, which sucks. The problem here is, as I said, these matches were nothing. Nothing. 90 seconds. 2 minutes. Who could possibly care about any of this? This felt like an old Divas era show with how little time they gave to these women. I'm not surprised that we're seeing reports now online about massive frustration behind the scenes from both people who work for the company behind the scenes and the talent themselves with the way that the women have been used on TV in recent weeks. And Friday was another shining example of that. You're going to have your first ever Queen of the Ring, whatever fucking name they're giving it. It's the Queen of the Ring. Finally, your first ever Queen of the Ring, right? You're going to have one for the men, now you're going to have one for the women. And instead of making it really feel special and really feeling like you're putting some thought and some effort into it, you get what you got on Friday night. It's like the 2008 King of the Ring all over again. I remember watching that live when they brought the King of the Ring back in 2008 on TV. I was on the road for work. I don't even remember where I remember where I was. I was in Florida. I was in Boca. And I'm in my hotel room and I'm watching the King of the Ring on this television. And I'm excited because I'm a fan of King of the Ring. And what we get? We got a bunch of short nothing matches with fucking Hornswoggle and all this bullshit. So they could get the crown on Regal, which was the end goal. I assume the end goal here is just get the crown on Shayna. But wouldn't it be nice if they put a little bit of effort into this and made the tournament really feel special? We understand it's not a pay-per-view anymore. It's not like what it used to be, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. They use it now as a gimmick for television because everything now is centered around TV, so I get that. But at least make the tournament feel special. It feels like they just did the women's tournament because they felt like they had to. Well, we're going to bring back the tournament for the men, and so people are going to complain it's not going to be well received if we don't have one for the women. We have a Royal Rumble for the women, and we have an Elimination Chamber for the women. So I guess we got to give the women a tournament too. Here you go. Here's your tournament. You happy now? Suck on that. Without putting any actual effort into it. Tournament just started, and already it is a fail. Now, if Balor wins King of the Ring and Baszler wins Queen of the Ring, that gives the King to Raw, it gives the Queen to SmackDown, one babyface, one heel apiece. That's how I see it going down. But again, I'm trying to apply logic to an illogical situation, which is always my problem. That's always been my Achilles heel. I always try to apply logic where none exists. Edge came out at the end of SmackDown on Friday night to confront Seth Rollins and they brawled until Rollins got away, and Edge challenged him to a match inside Hell in a Cell. He didn't say when, but it's since been announced on WWE.com for sweet Saudi money. Finally, a match actually worthy of Hell in a Cell as a stipulation. It's the perfect blow-off for this feud, especially as personal as Rollins made it by breaking into Edge's house on TV last week. Hell in a Cell is an appropriate stipulation for this feud. If only they didn't have an entire pay-per-view called Hell in a Cell only just a few months ago. So Crown Jewel looks pretty packed. They got the Hell in a Cell match, Roman Reigns defending the Universal title against Brock Lesnar, Big E defending the WWE title against Drew McIntyre, Goldberg against Bobby Lashley, no holds barred, with Lashley inviting Sunberg to attend so that he can beat him up again like he did at SummerSlam. Becky Lynch defending her SmackDown Women's title against Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. RK Bro defending the Raw Tag Team titles against AJ Styles and Omos. And the finals of the King of the Ring and the finals of the Queen's Crown. I would be shocked if Mansoor does not wrestle on this show, so maybe this week they'll add a battle royal or some kind of multi-man, multi-tag team match possibly to the show to get him on there. The final SmackDown before Crown Jewel is this Friday. It is airing, as I said earlier, on FS1 because of the baseball game on Fox. It's the super-sized SmackDown from 8 to 10:30 p.m. They are promoting a Brock Lesnar appearance, Sasha Banks one-on-one against Becky Lynch, which is a big match, and Sonya Deville returns to the ring to wrestle Naomi. That'll be Sonya's first match since her loss to Mandy Rose at last year's SummerSlam, which was over a year ago. So that is the lineup for SmackDown this Friday.